Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Luke Shaw agrees a new 4-year contract to stay at Manchester United as a reward for his impressive season. Luke Shaw's current deal was set to expire in 2024. Last year, Man United extended Luke Shaw's contract by another year. Luke Shaw has been a long-serving player at Manchester United. He's been at Man United for almost a decade. He joined Man United in 2014. Manchester United got him from Southampton for 30 million. Luke Shaw has made over 200 appearances for Manchester United. Scored 4 goals. He's played around 35 games this season. Luke Shaw is Man United's first choice left back despite the arrival of Terrell Malaysia. My only concern about Luke Shaw is injury prone. Now I want to give you some news on Mason Greenwood. So Mason Greenwood has held talks with Manchester United about coming back. Mason Greenwood has been told he will not train with Manchester United until next season. I don't want Mason Greenwood back at Manchester United. Now, as you all know, Manchester United play Newcastle at St James's Park on Sunday. As you all know, Man United have got players missing. Of course, Eriksen is still out with an ankle injury. Martial is injured. He's been hampered with injuries this season. Van der Beek is out for the rest of the season, but Van der Beek doesn't play anyway as a squad player. I'm expecting him to leave Man United in the summer. Rashford has been injured, but I'm hearing he's going to be available for this game. Rashford withdrew from the England squad because he picked up an injury. You know, what a season Marcus Rashford is enduring. This is definitely his best season as a United player. Rashford has scored 26 goals in all competitions this season. Don't forget, earlier on in the year, Rashford won Premier League Player of the Month, and that was for the 3rd time this season. Man United stepping up efforts to tie Marcus Rashford down to a new contract. Rashford came out and said it's complete nonsense about the £500,000 a week contract demands. Rashford rejected a £400,000 a week offer from PSG. Rashford's current contract expires in 2024. Casemiro will be missing this game against Newcastle because he's suspended. He's got like 3 games to serve. So they're the players that Manchester United have got missing. Oh, Varane's injured as well. Manchester United need to get back to winning ways in the Premier League. Man United are winless in the last 2 league games. Before the international break, Manchester United beat Fulham 3-1 at Old Trafford in the FA Cup quarter-final. Man United progressed to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Man United will be playing Brighton. Manchester United came from 1 goal down to beat 9 men Fulham. Fulham had 3 sent off. Willian got sent off for handball. Alexander Mitrovic and the Fulham manager Marco Silva got sent off, and that changed the complexion of the game. You know, Fulham obviously took the lead through Alexander Mitrovic, that came from a corner. Then Man United, of course, got the penalty from Willian's handball. Bruno Fernandes converted the penalty. Fernandes also got another goal in the game late in stoppage time. So he got 2 goals. And Sabitzer scored his first Man United goal, and that meant a lot to Sabitzer. It was a good flick. But for 60 minutes, I thought Fulham were very dominant and Manchester United really struggled. Man United have got a good chance of winning the FA Cup. It'd be nice to win the FA Cup. We've not won it since 2016. We have won the FA Cup around 12 times. After the win against Fulham, Erik ten Hag did mention that we're in a position we want to be in, and he said it was a penalty. I am expecting Manchester United to win against Newcastle. Don't get me wrong, Newcastle are enjoying a very good season to their standards. They're 5th in the Premier League. Man United have already played Newcastle twice this season. Man United beat them in the Carabao Cup final 2-0. That was Erik ten Hag's first trophy as Man United manager, was the Carabao Cup, and it was Man United's first trophy in 6 years. Man United did draw with Newcastle in the league earlier on in the season, 0-0. Last time Man United played at St James's Park, it was 1-1. Newcastle won their last game against Nottingham Forest 2-1. They've got good players of Newcastle. They've got Miguel Almiron. He's going to be missing the next 6 games because he picked up an injury. So he's a big miss for Newcastle. Alain Saint-Maximin, he's injured, and he's one of the best players that Newcastle have got. Anthony Gordon, he's injured. Newcastle got him from Everton. Callum Wilson, former Bournemouth player. Ryan Fraser. Jacob Murphy. Alexander Isak. Newcastle got him from Real Sociedad. Matt Ritchie. Elliot Anderson. Bruno Guimaraes is a very good midfielder. Sean Longstaff is a good midfielder. Matty Longstaff, at one point he was out on loan with Aberdeen. Joseph Willock, at one point he was at Arsenal. Kieran Trippier, Newcastle got him from Atletico Madrid, he's a fullback. Sevan Botman, he's a defender, Newcastle got him from Lille, he's out with a virus at the moment. Matt Targett, Newcastle got him from Aston Villa, he's a defender. Daniel Byrne, Newcastle signed him from Brighton. Paul Dummett, Jamal Lewis, Newcastle signed him from Norwich. Jamal Lascelles, Manquillo. The goalkeepers Newcastle have got, they've got Nick Pope. Pope is injured at the moment, is he? Don't forget Pope was suspended for the final for what he did against Liverpool. Newcastle got Pope from Burnley. Karius, Martin Dubravka, don't forget he was on loan at Man United. Obviously went back to Newcastle because his loan at Man United got terminated, and they've got another goalkeeper as well. So that's a lot of the players Newcastle have got. They've let players go. Don't forget the loan Chris Wood out to Nottingham Forest. They let Kieran Clark go. They loaned Darlow out, who was Newcastle's goalkeeper. So there you go. And Eddie Howe is the Newcastle manager. I've got to give him a lot of credit because he's doing a really good job as the Newcastle manager. He's been the Newcastle manager for around 16 months. He got appointed in as the Newcastle manager in November 2021. He's under contract with Newcastle, is it, till 2024? Before Newcastle, Eddie Howe managed Bournemouth. He was at Bournemouth for several years and he did have a spell with Burnley. Eddie Howe was the one that replaced Steve Bruce. Newcastle sacked Steve Bruce because he wasn't good enough. At one point, Newcastle had Rafa Benitez. To be fair, Newcastle were very consistent under him, but Rafa Benitez ended up resigning because he didn't get backed. Obviously, Newcastle's owners are the Saudi Arabians. Since they took over the club, Newcastle have become or are one of the richest clubs in the world. Obviously, before the Saudi Arabians, Newcastle had Mike Ashley. He ruined the club. He got heavily criticised for so many years. And I bet Newcastle fans were relieved when he sold the club. Mike Ashley was Newcastle's owner for around 13 years. So there you go. And of course, you know the news regarding the Glazers. Glazers opt against stadium plan. It says Man United are 535 million in debt. Man United co-owner Avram Glazer does not want to sell the club. Glazers recently clashed over the sale. In November last year, the Glazers announced that the club was up for sale, and since then, Man United have had a lot of interest. You know, the Glazers are demanding $6 billion. For such a long time, United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. The Glazers have owned the club for 18 years. They purchased the club for $790 million back in 2005. As you all know, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's been interested in buying the club for quite some time. It recently said he's confident of completing a Man United takeover. His bids have been below the Glazers' $6 billion valuation. You know, Qataris have been interested in buying the club, so have the Saudi Arabians. You know, Man United may have to wait until the summer for the Glazers to sell the club. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, like, support on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless.